Hey everyone, I just wanted to spend a quick moment covering a popular topic these days and something that I hope I can speak on because of the years I've spent training, and that is volume. Um, there's a lot of research come out now, which I think is very good research, that talks about you need roughly between 10 and 20 sets of volume per week to stimulate muscle growth, that is ideal for muscle growth. I do not particularly disagree with that. I think that that is a good guideline, but I'd like you to think about uh, what does that volume actually consist of? Most of the research doesn't talk too much about rep ranges. They have set their standards and whatnot, but of course, all of you might train with different rep ranges. But when you're talking about volume itself, what are you actually talking about? What is this volume composed of? And why are you trying to hit certain volume targets? Uh, in my personal opinion, this comes down to why you're in the gym in the first place. You're in the gym to stimulate muscle growth, to cause enough stimulation, to cause an adaptation that forces the body to increase the amount of muscle tissue you have, something that it essentially doesn't want to do. So you have to force it to do that. And to force it to do that, you have to go above and beyond your body's current capabilities, introduce new stressors that are unique and novel, that will cause your body to say, hey, I have to add tissue and get stronger because this load is here. And as far as I know, it's going to continue, so I better adapt. Now, that said, 10 to 20 sets per week. Let's think about that a little bit, okay? Can you, in the gym, going in training chest today, do 10 sets all out? Probably not. And frankly speaking, if you know you have 10 sets in front of you, you're probably going to pace your efforts so that your best efforts are at the end of those 10 sets, or at least the end of each exercise that is composed of that total 10 sets. And that's wherein you want to have your focus in that volume, is in those reps that matter the most, your effective reps. And this is why I always advocate training to failure, despite some literature and some, whatever influencers or even sports medicine doctors talking about you don't need to train to failure. Personally, I believe you need to train to failure. If you don't train to failure, you're training pretty much the same threshold you were yesterday, last week, last month, and therefore there will be no change. So the most important consideration in that volume is to have enough effective reps to stimulate growth. So why 10, 20 sets of volume? I think in the research and amongst most people, that's what's needed to recruit enough fibers to signal to the body that, hey, this is a maximal effort. And that's because most of the volume composed in that volume is not maximal effort. There's a lot of warming up, there's a lot of getting set, getting your head into the game, and there's a lot of wasted volume, in my opinion. What I do, for example, let's say if I'm going to train chest, I do 2 exercises. Each exercise is 3 to 4 total sets, maybe 5, especially the first exercise if I'm cold coming in the gym and not warm up. I will go very high reps on that first set, maybe 15, 20 reps to get, settled, to get warm, get some blood in the joints so I don't have any injuries. And I'll very quickly decrease the amount of reps and raise the weights. So maybe I start at 15, then I go to 10, then I go to 6, then I go to 4, and then I have 2 working sets, all right? And to keep in mind that those descending reps, going into 6 and 4 particularly, I'm using heavier and heavier weights, but I'm very careful not to exhaust myself. I don't want to waste that overall volume. I want to save my energy and my effort and my intensity for those 2 working sets. For me, those 2 working sets are usually a rest pause set to failure, usually taken to failure twice. Because I am almost 55 years old, I like to fail at over 10 reps, not below, simply because it just increases the margin of safety. So I might do 10 reps, then I take a break, which would be 15 breaths, roughly 20 seconds, maybe 30, deep breaths, get another 2 to 3 reps, repeat the break, another 2 to 3 reps if I can. Very often I cannot, maybe 2 reps. Then I'll take a 30 to 60 second break and then do a back off set or a drop set, as we call different labels for the same thing, and just squeeze out a little more effort. For me, those 2 sets are my real volume. The sets before that didn't really matter to me because they didn't stimulate growth. They didn't touch the right fibers hard enough to stimulate change. Okay? So when you're talking about total volume, think about why you're there. You're there to grow muscle. Think about what reps actually cause growth. And think about what you do to lead up to those reps that cause growth. All right? If you need a lot of sets to warm up, that's fine. But don't be under the misconception that it's just about getting a certain number of sets of volume. It's about the effective reps in those sets of volume. And I think if you're focused and you really train hard, most people don't, to be honest, really train hard. And that comes with experience, frankly. Don't expect to be able to do that right away. You have to learn your body, have neurological adaptations. All those kind of things come with time. But if you train really hard, you don't need a ton of volume. Train hard, get in, get out, recover, repeat. That's how you grow. And that's what's most important about your volume.